Hello everyone, I'm your host, Roman Garcia from Nerdsport, and welcome to Creating a Culture of Innovation. We're here to highlight up-and-coming and growing businesses that want to show off their culture and what makes them stand out with technology. Our goal is to educate our audience about having a strong IT and cybersecurity infrastructure and showing how other businesses are leveraging technology in order to succeed. Nerdsport is an award-winning managed service provider that's been helping businesses in the US and around the world with managed IT, consulting, and cloud solutions for almost 20 years. If you found what we talked about in today's episode valuable and are looking to advance your business's technology strategy, we can offer you a free IT consultation where we examine your technology, cybersecurity, and compliance so that we can take care of your IT and you can focus on the growth of your business. If you would like to be a guest on our podcast, you can apply at cacoi.nerdsport.com/podcast. And to learn how Nerdsport can help you succeed with technology, visit us at nerdsport.com. All right, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creating a Culture of Innovation podcast. I'm your host, Roman Garcia, and I'm joined today by yet another business leader who's cultivating a culture of innovation within his business, Jeff Zelaya. Jeff is the VP of Franchise Development at Hite Digital, which is a digital marketing agency focused on empowering businesses by delivering effective solutions through PPC, SEO, and web services. So thank you for coming on the show, Jeff. How you doing?
What's up, Roman? Man, it's great to be on here. I've heard so many great things about your show, and it's an honor, a privilege, especially with the relationship I have with Nerd Support, man, to be a guest on this show. So I'm excited for today.
Right. I was going to say, I wasn't sure if it was okay for me to say this, but Jeff is actually a longtime Nerd Support veteran. So I think it'll be cool with a former and a new age nerd right here. So I'm excited to have a chat with you. So are you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go.
All right. So starting off, Jeff, tell me and the audience a little bit about your business's mission statement. What does Hite Digital do for businesses around you to help them succeed?
Absolutely. So one of our models is that we're not just a digital marketing agency, but we're in the business of empowering people. So as we're creating a business around helping businesses market and generate leads, we're thinking also of putting people in positions where they could be empowered. And for us, there's a couple of different values that are really key to us. The first one is family. So we really value family. We put family in front of profits or in front of our business success. And really, we believe that we can make family successful follow. So that's one of the keys to our growth. We also are really focused on growth, which is one of our second pieces, our second pillars of our cultural values, is making sure that we're looking for opportunities to grow and develop and helping others do the same. So we're always trying to empower people to grow, not just professionally in their career, but it could be as a father, as a mother, as a spouse, in their hobbies, in their personal fitness or their mental health, right? So we're always looking for ways to help people grow and develop. And then one of the third pillar for us is excellence. So we do everything with excellence, and meaning that we want to be the best versions of ourselves, and we want to help other people become the best versions of themselves, whether it's becoming a better business owner, becoming a better SEO strategist, a better podcast interviewer, a better leader, right? We're always trying to empower people and help them become excellent. So that's a little bit about kind of how we think of ourselves, right, in terms of cultural values here at Hite Digital.
Yeah, funneling a little bit of that Dom Toretto, the family.
Yeah. But, I want to point out that there's a lot of companies that truly, that say family is how they think and how they work. But, I've been in some organizations in corporate America where they say family, but they're making decisions based off of the bottom line profit.
Right. Yeah.
And then for me, that kind of, at first I thought I had that same impression that Hite Digital would be that type of organization, but I have been pleasantly surprised that what we say in the beginning is truly what we deliver. And we have, so I'll give you some specific examples of this, right? So one of the things that we've created within the organization is actually a nursery. So one of the things that we saw is there's a lot of young mothers that were kind of wrestling with, having to return back to work while still watching over their babies. And we saw an opportunity there to provide a solution where we could help those moms transitioning back to the workplace. So we created a nursery right in our headquarters where the moms could bring and be able to spend time with their babies and still be able to have an impact and develop in their career. So that's one example. I'll give you another one. One other element of Hite Digital is that we offer scholarships for parents to help their kids go to private schools, schools of higher quality, and they don't have that burden of having to pay all that themselves. So we really help. Again, empowerment and family is at the utmost importance here at our organization. So just, giving you some examples, right? Because a lot of companies say family, but when you really look into it, it's more based on investors and ROI and profit. And none of those things are not important to us. But at the beginning is always family, and really truly standing by that statement.
Yeah, right. About building that community. And it's almost like, I'm going to be real, Jeff, that these past couple of episodes I've been seeing a real trend with the kinds of people that we're bringing on. One of the last ones that similar to like how you did the nursery, that there was another one that they started up like a mini school for their employees' kids. And it's just like, I can't say it enough that if you build up your employees, build up your community, that will come back to you, and that will boost the camaraderie, boost people's respect and effort, and all that will come back to you. So it's just more. I love this. More people bringing on that are kind of embracing that mindset. So I'm really glad to hear that. And kind of on that vein of professional development, I want to hear from you. How did you get into the digital marketing business, and how did Nerd Support play at all into that kind of evolution?
Absolutely. So I remember responding, Scott Richmond, the CEO and founder of Nerd Support, had put, he had an ad with our university. I was going to FIU at the time, majoring in marketing. So he was working with the career center there to find some students that would be willing to help him start up the marketing efforts for Nerd Support. So I remember that being a very, an experience that really was a jumping off point for my career, because working with a small business like Nerd Support, I got a chance to kind of work very closely with the CEO of Scott and kind of see how he structured his business, how he structured his operation. I went on sales calls with him. We put together a lot of cool marketing initiatives. This is also at the very emergence, like where social media was starting to become a really important part of a marketing campaign. And Scott kind of saw that as an opportunity and got me involved and got me to work on building up that social media following and just different projects that went also along with the website, like SEO. So a lot of the things that I got an opportunity to do at Nerd Support, really I'm doing right now, just kind of at a higher, more executive level. But it was very important for my start to really get that experience hands-on, to be able to have also a lot of independence, but also be guided by someone that was very experienced in business and leading a business. So it was really, again, I talked to Scott and told him how pivotal he was in my career, just kind of be giving me that. And I'm very grateful for that. And then from there, when I was an internship, I was with Scott Richmond for a few months. I graduated FIU, and I chose an opportunity to work at an ad agency, a marketing agency, where I got the chance to work on a bunch of different campaigns, Fortune 500s, Fortune 1000s, even emerging startups like Netflix. I got an opportunity to work with them in the very early days, helping drive subscriptions for the company. And so at that agency, I got exposed to all types of different business sectors and industries.
The DVD delivery days.
Yeah, back when they were still doing DVD delivery days. So it was very focused on helping them build that subscription business. And so I got exposed to these different elements of marketing, everything from email marketing to affiliate marketing to SEO, pay-per-click, Facebook ads. And then from there, my career just started to grow. I then relocated, which was another kind of chapter in my career. Is I left the marketing agency world, and I did quite well there. I've generated over $1 million in revenue in my first year at the agency, which was a milestone. And we also became one of the top 10 agencies in the country rated by Ad Age. So it was, great people, great culture. But I also realized that in life, there's different chapters in your book. So I started on the next chapter, which was a relocation to Washington, D.C. So my wife, got an opportunity to work with the Discovery Channel, and it required her to move up to DC. And at that time, I wanted to set her up for opportunity in her career to grow and develop and mature. So we made that transition. As I looked at careers that I could choose in the DC area, I found this company called Vocus, which is a marketing software company. So my marketing background came really handy in just interviewing for that position, being a good candidate. And that added another kind of notch to my belt in terms of the experience that I developed. So I started learning more about software and SaaS businesses, which was really helpful. And I had a little bit of that knowledge as well, because the Nerd Support gave me a little bit, but I was able to further add on to that. And then from there, I joined another startup and grew the company from zero in revenue to generating over $5 million in revenue in a short amount of time. And that kind of one opportunity led to another. But my focus has always been around marketing and sales and business development. So I've always had that kind of pattern from the very beginning, but just now working with bigger teams and more structure and fast, different types of organizations.
Wow, that's definitely cool to hear that. Yeah, same thing here. Like in terms of like the SaaS or the managed IT services, like I didn't know any of that coming into this. Like the cloud, I thought it was just like, the Google Cloud or whatever, the Google Drive, that kind of thing. But when you kind of like learn all these things, it honestly makes me excited for seeing you, like how you're basically in my place. I'm excited to see where that can take me as well. But really cool to hear that you've been able to find that success.
Yep. And I think a lot of it is, again, being mentored and working with the right people, right? So like Scott is one of those examples. At Vocus, I had Caitlin. At MediaWiz, I had Adam. At Tribalio, I had Sean. So these are people that I know that intimately, like they really invested in me, and they invested not just in me as in that role, but as a person. They wanted me to succeed in my family. They wanted to see me succeed in my finances. They wanted me to succeed with my personal goals. And I think that's really where, someone in your shoes right now, any young person, I would advise them, it's not so much about the company, but who will you be working with at that company? Who is invested in you and your success? And surround yourself with people like that, people that you could point to and say, yeah, I want to be more like that. There's certain things in that person that I want to emulate and develop too. Right. And that really was one of the things that has helped me get to where I'm at today, is just I was very blessed to be, having the right people in my life, and those that were not the right fit, I was able to at least identify that and this align with them, align with someone else that was better suited for my goals.
Hey, yeah, for sure. Stick around with whoever is willing to build, to help build each other up. So that's definitely what you want to go for. And you mentioned challenges earlier. In terms of challenges, did you face any of that during the pandemic, and how did you guys adapt?
We were very blessed during the pandemic to be growing, right? So Hite Digital, they didn't lay off a single person. We actually raised salaries and grew during the pandemic. There was a time, a couple months there, where we had to really cut some expenses and restructure, but we were able to get through that in the entire year, not having to lay off a single person. So that was a very proud accomplishment of ours. And the reason for that is that we really manage our finances well. So one of the important things here at Hite Digital is that we're not like some of the other organizations that I work for. It's not a bad thing, but there's a lot of companies that are because they're VC backed and their investors are giving them money, and they're very leveraged. There's a lot of pressure on them to be able to generate a profit month in, month out. If not, they're laying people off, firing people and whatnot. So with Hite Digital, we didn't have any investors involved. We've been bootstrapped from the very beginning. We've been profitable, and we've been saving money, which has helped us when those rainy days come. And that's something that I recommend for any business owner that's watching this, is to make sure that they're putting money aside, savings, for things that you may not be able to expect, like the pandemic that no one saw coming. A lot of businesses those that did not have savings, they really felt the impact during that time, and they had to cut people and salaries and make drastic decisions that affected their entire organization. So we were very blessed. And at the end of that, 2020 is when we started launching the franchise business. So, going through that difficult time, really, it made our process and the way we grew just more efficient. We were able to become more effective and become more streamlined, and it helped position us for this next phase of growth. So at the end of that pandemic year, 2020, is when we launched a franchise, and we launched in the first group, we launched with 5 franchise locations across the country. So we opened up a location in Miami.
Congrats.
We opened up in San Francisco, in Dallas, in Phoenix, Arizona, and in Nashville, Tennessee. So those original 5. In this year, which is, again, the coronavirus is still out there, the Omicron variant is still out there. Aside from that, we grew 11. We opened up 11 locations in 2021. So now we are actually and we just added 3 this first quarter of the year. So we're now at 19 locations across the country, and we're still in the middle of a pandemic. If you really look at it, right, there's still people affected. But the reason is a couple of reasons, right? I think the first part of the year was just kind of streamlining the operations, like making sure that our expenses were low, that we didn't take on loans or borrow money that we couldn't pay off, that we had savings accumulated, and that we've reinvested in our people. So we didn't, we wanted to maintain that talent, making sure that they knew they have stability in their roles, that this is still a place for them to grow. And so that was a key part of that first year, a very formative year. Then as we started growing and scaling, because we now had a streamlined operation, we could scale quicker and faster. And that helped us continue our growth pattern. Another key element of that is that there was people in the workforce, right, that they were starting to look at other opportunities. So there's a lot of people that went, they didn't want to work for anyone, like, because they were trying to get them back into the office. Some people realize, hey, this is, I want to do my own thing, be an entrepreneur. So we had some instances of those, and they started looking at what business can I start on my own? So they started a marketing agency, and that's where we were able to attract people like that, right? That were in that kind of entrepreneur mindset now because of the pandemic. So it only helped give us more opportunities to help those people out and help them grow and scale their business. So that was another element that helped us. And the third element was that a lot of which our main target audience are small and mid-sized businesses. They no longer had the option of not doing a website and not doing digital marketing, right? Because a lot of the face-to-face and the brick and mortar stuff was disappearing, or had gone away, or was under pressure because of COVID. So they had to look at other manners, and guess what? Website, e-commerce, stepped into that. Doing Facebook ads, was stepped into that. So that really just boosted our business from that angle as well. So this trifecta, I think, was a big reason why during some of these tough years for many businesses, Hite Digital has only grown. In fact, we've 3x since the very beginning of the pandemic. We went from 50 employees to now having over 150 as of this past month. Right.
Especially like in this past year, as you were saying, that like digital consumption is like absolutely through the roof. I love how we said like this year or this past year. It's actually 2022. It's not just so time flies. But all that's through the roof. That's people just got to start innovating, and you got to start going with the times. And I kind of, on that note, I want to move on from a little bit. I want to hear some of your domain expertise. I know you mentioned kind of how you guys are a differentiator, but within your own industry, the digital marketing agency, what are you guys doing differently technologically through innovation that you think your competitors and other people in the space could be doing better?
Yeah. So I think from the very beginning, so let's start from like the sales, the pipe, the funnel, right? So from the very beginning, we take that very consultative approach to helping our clients out. So learning as much about their business as possible, doing an audit, right? So these are things that many other agencies don't do. Like, for example, there's the average agency, or some of the, let's call it the mediocre ones, right? They're like, oh, you want a website? Sure, here's the price. And, here's a website, we'll do it for you. So it's a very transactional type of deal, right? For us, right, the approach that we take is we're very consultative. So before we offer any type of proposal or even an outline of what kind of work we could do for you, we want to learn everything about your business. So we look at competitors. We look at your website. We do an audit. We look at, we do some keyword research. We look at just like the strategy that you're going to use. We're going to talk, learn about your sales process. What does that look like? So all that information helps us put together a strategy deck, and we present that ahead of time. So there's not a cost for it. There's not a price that we charge, although it does take us effort to put that together.
Right.
Something we offer up front because it helps us better paint the picture of what we could do to help them. And it helps us also build trust in the process. So they know, hey, look, we're actually digging in and doing our homework to figure out how we could best help you. So that's one of the biggest differentiators, just kind of that sales process. We're never pitching people or hard selling or making absurd promises. Like a lot of the SEO agents, we're going to promise you number one on Google tomorrow. Right. And they may do that, but they do a lot of things that are maybe a little shady or spammy. They call it black hat, right? Where there's certain strategies that you could use to get overnight results, but you could be penalized by Google. And you'll be in bigger trouble if you take that route. So we're very upfront, and we educate them. And part of that is also we have a Google partnership to maintain. So we are all our team has to be certified in order to have that Google partnership, which is only a select few of agencies that have that. And we're one of them, right? So that's another differentiator, is that we're constantly training our team, and we have to meet Google, just like Nerd Support. You can see all the certifications that they have. Same thing exists in our industry. That's one of them. Microsoft partners, as well as being the Facebook partner. So that's a differentiator for us. And then the way that we start a strategy, one of the things elements that's very important for us is tracking ROI. So a lot of, again, the average agency out there, very focused on getting you more likes and getting you, more shares, which is cool, right? But it's not really the metric that matters to a lot of our target business owners, which for them, it's leads, it's sales, it's revenue.
Conversion,
right? So, exactly. So in order to be able to have an impact on that, we want them to measure it, right? We install proper tracking software across the websites, across the ads. So that's another differentiator. A lot of companies, a lot of agencies will run ads for you, but when it comes to the reporting element, it's lacking. There's not really accountability to what the work that they're doing for you. So that's something that's really, we use a couple of different platforms to be able to better capture the analytics and the data, so we could then provide an ROI report to our clients and say, hey, you're paying us this, but you're getting 2x, 3x the amount that you're paying us. This is the result of our effort. So that keeps clients on.
Transparency. Right.
Yeah, that it's essential to build trust. It's essential for us to know, are we doing the right things, right? We want to make sure that we're working on the right things and getting them results, and feel good, but have confidence that we actually are following through on what we promised them. And then it also helps us maintain a longer term partnership, so they could see, month over month, what's happening. Those clients usually don't stay on for 3 or 2 months. They're staying on for years, many of them, because they see that we have that level of transparency with them, and we're sending them constant reports and optimization. We're having that ongoing dialogue. So I think those elements of our experience are really important. Number one, I mentioned the differentiator of us, our sales approach. So that's key, right? Another one is the ability for us to train and maintain certain certifications for our team. And then third one is having that ROI approach. So those three things are really what separates Hite Digital from your average agency. And I think the fourth one, which is, it's more of we're likable. Like people want to work with us because think about it, like Apple is a likable brand, right? Google, I think, is a likable brand. Like people want to, that they're treating their people really good. They're like, it's a cool company to work with. It's almost, they have a cult following. And Hite Digital, we're in the middle of building that. People, as they learn more about us, they realize, wow, that's a cool company to work for. Like they're doing some cool things. And I think that's also helping us get people to see the value of working with an organization that's not just focused on, we're going to drive you leads, we're going to help them get to their goal. We're driving profit, but we're reinvesting that profit into our people. And we're not a company that just cares about the bottom line. We care about empowering our people. So I think that also is an X factor in the reason that people want to work with us and what differentiates us from your average agency out there.
Well, I'm really glad to hear, Jeff, that kind of human side of digital marketing. As someone who's a part of marketing and actually has worked with or spoken to several marketing specialist and SEO specialist. Yeah, there's kind of like almost like a robotic aspect to some of them, that they think it's just like numbers. You could plug stuff in and it just pops out results. But no, that there's you got to have that personal side to it too, so that you know who and who, like that they understand who you're working with. Yeah. So yeah, that's especially important. And so moving on, last question, what's on the agenda for Hite Digital in the future, if there's anything you could share?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the big things that we're doing this year is we're doing our own event. So we are sponsoring the Commitment Summit, and we're actually organizing that event. And we're going to have speakers like Damon John, Kevin Harrington, that's the original Shark, the Shark Tank guys.
Yeah.
They're going to be there. Jesse Itzler, when he's married to the Spanx founder, and he's got a majestic jet. So like he's sold companies, right? And we're gathering these group of people in Costa Rica for a 3-day long event. And this conference it's targeted for agency owners, but we actually are making it a family conference. So it's the first of its kind, where you don't buy a ticket for yourself. You actually buy a room, and that room entitles you to invite whoever you want into your room. You get, 5 people. So we're encouraging families to come out. So it's the only conference that your wife or your spouse is going to beg you to go to, because they'll get an experience. It's a luxury resort that we're going to be at. All the meals are included, drinks are included. We're going to have not only learning sessions, but sessions for families, like ATV riding, kayaking. We're going to do like yoga and right on the beach in Costa Rica. So we're really excited about that. That's happening.
Man, I want to go.
Yeah, dude, in August, man. Yeah, we'll get you a ticket, but I'm excited about that. So that's a huge deal for us. And then we're also sponsoring the Traffic and Conversion Summit, which is the biggest conference in the industry for us in San Diego. And we're sponsoring the VIP lounge. Last year I was there. I was hanging out with Magic Johnson backstage. He was a keynote speaker. So I don't know who we're going to have this year, but I'm excited to be mingling with some of the VIPs as part of that sponsorship opportunity. So those are 2 big things that we've got going on this year. We really are trying to do more events. So we just signed up to go to the St. Louis Small Business Conference, and we're going to have our local franchisee at that show. So we are really trying to get back in front of people, right? Connecting with people, obviously within the safety guidelines, but we want to make sure that we are, seeing people eye to eye. I think that, for this past year and a half, business has also been missing that personal aspect. So we want to try to do more of that this year. And beyond that, we're going to be adding like 10 more franchisees. So look for more Hite Digital locations across the country, hopefully one coming to a city near you. So really excited about that. So yeah, it's going to be a busy year. We've got a lot to look forward to. Another cool thing that we're doing is we're having a missions trip. So this is I'm excited. This is our first year doing this, but we're inviting the franchisee owners to go with us on a missions trip to give back to the local communities in Nicaragua. So we're going to be giving, making meals, building houses.
That's great.
Educating. And we're also going to mix that in with a little bit of vacation time, and we're bringing them down for that. So I'm really excited about that. So really some really fun stuff. So make sure follow me on Instagram at Jeff Zelaya. You could connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a LinkedIn invite. Always love to network and connect. Check out hitedigital.com, learn more about us, but really appreciate your time today, Roman. Thank you again for having me on the show.
Yeah, for sure. It was great talking to you. I'll make sure to include your LinkedIn and on your connections there, as well as I'll talk with you a little bit later to get some of those, maybe if any of our audience want to jump on that Costa Rica trip. So yeah. All right. You heard him. Go check out their website, Hite Digital, as well as check out their LinkedIn. They have some content going on there, and give them a follow. So Jeff Zelaya from Hite Digital, everyone, thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for cultivating a culture of innovation within your business. So
love it, Roman. Let me see your fist, Roman. Let me see your fist. Put it up to the camera. I mean, give me a fist bump, dude. That was a great interview, dude. I appreciate you very much, man. Keep innovating, keep growing. Jeff Zelaya, peace.
Appreciate that. All right, later.
Hi, Roman here. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Creating a Culture of Innovation. If you would like to be a guest on our podcast, you can apply at cacoi.nerdsupport.com/podcast. Did you find what we talked about today valuable? Please give it a like and share it on social media. Or if you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them and make sure to include the hashtag Creating a Culture of Innovation. We'd love to bring on a diverse group of guests. Since we're regularly putting out new content, Subscribe and make sure you don't miss any episodes. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show, and it'd mean a lot to me and my team. Want to learn more about Nerd Support and how we can help you succeed with technology? Visit our website at nerdsupport.com or follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Nerd Support. Thanks for listening in, and we hope you'll stop by next time.